everybody, it's me, Unhan, and I'm gonna be showing a video on trig identities, and I'm being blackpenredpen's guest speaker today. And don't forget to subscribe to me, blackpenredpen, and
meow.
Alright, so let's start this video. The sine of 2 multiplied by x is equal to 2 multiplied by the sine of x multiplied by the cosine of x. I'm gonna be using the identity sine of a plus b is equal to sine of a cosine of b plus sine of b cosine of a in order to prove this identity. So first, I'm going to rewrite the sine of 2 multiplied by x to be able to use this identity. So I'm gonna rewrite it as sine of x plus x. Now, I'm gonna plug in the a's and b's, and thus it gives me the sine of a, which is x, cosine of b, which is x, plus the sine of b, which is x, cosine of a, which is x. But as you notice here, we're not done yet. This term and this term are the same. So we can combine both of them to get 2 multiplied by the sine of x multiplied by the cosine of x. And that's our first trig identity done. Alright, this is the second identity. The cosine of 2 multiplied by x is equal to the cosine square of x minus sine square of x, which equals to 2 cosine square of x minus 1, which is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square of x. This time I'm going to be using this identity. The cosine of a plus b equals to the cosine of a cosine of b minus the sine of a sine of b. So I'm gonna make it possible to use this identity, the cosine of 2x. I'm gonna rewrite it as cosine of x plus x. Then I'm gonna plug in everything. The cosine of a, which is x, multiplied by the cosine of b, which is x, minus the sine of a, which is x, and the sine of b, which is x. So now we get cosine of x multiplied by cosine of x minus sine of x multiplied by sine of x. But don't forget, we have to simplify the terms. Cosine square of x minus sine square of x. And this is our first equation that we got. We are done that already. And now all we have to do is now we can use this to solve the rest of the identities. So to prove this second identity, the cosine of 2x equals to 2 cosine square of x minus 1, I will have to use this very important Pythagorean identity. The cosine square of x plus sine square of x is equal to exactly 1. So I'm going to use this identity and I'm going to try to rewrite the equation. Let's try to use this identity. I'm going to rewrite it as 2 cosine square of x minus cosine square of x plus sine square of x. As you notice, we can rewrite this as cosine of x minus sine square of x if you rewrite it correctly. But now I'm going to do some magic. This, in fact, is equal to 1. We know that this is equal to 2 cosine square of x minus 1. Okay, now I'm done the second one, and now I need to prove how come cosine of 2x is equals to 1 minus 2 sine square of x. From here, all I have to do now is just to rewrite in a different way, but still use the Pythagorean identity. Let's rewrite it as cosine square of x plus sine square of x, and I subtract 2 sine square of x. With this, again, using my magic, I can just replace this for 1 with this Pythagorean identity. And thus it gives us 1 minus 2 sine square of x. And thus that's our last one solved. We've gotten all of this just using the cosine addition at angle sum formula and the Pythagorean identity. I'm gonna be proving one last two, in fact. Alright, this is the second last one. The cosine square of x is equal to half of 1 plus cosine of 2x. This is the most simple one I know. Okay, so now all we have to do is just rearrange this equation. Let's bring the one over here, and I'm just going to reverse the equation to give 2 cosine squared of x is equal to 1 plus cosine of 2x. Then, in order to get the cosine square of x, all I have to do now is just divide by 2. Divide by 2 on both sides to give cosine square of x is equal to half of 1 plus cosine of 2x. Boom! We got it. Right, this is the last and final identity we're gonna do this video. The sine squared of x is equal to half of 1 minus cosine of 2x. We're gonna use the identity we just proved again, but this time is the variation, the third version, 1 minus 2 sine squared of x, to find this out. Again, we are just going to rearrange the equation. I am going to subtract 1 from both sides, minus 1. And I'm gonna switch both sides. Well, negative 2 sine square of x is equal to cosine of 2x minus 1. I'm gonna divide both sides by negative 2. And this will give me sine square of x is equal to, remember when we have this, we have to switch the position. And don't forget the half since we're dividing by negative 2. So instead of cosine 2x minus 1, now it's 1 minus cosine of 2x. And this is our last identity proved. Watching my video, please subscribe to me, blackpenredpen, and Mimi Meow. And I hope to see you next time. Bye everybody. Bye.